Okay, so welcome back to our Executone whatever. This is a 302S speaker slash microphone. I think I figured out how this works. This speaker's model number, whatever, it's a 270911. 270 is QAM. The last digit should be the year, so maybe 1951. But 91, that's usually the week number, isn't it? That's a lot of weeks for a year. Well, whatever. But, okay, so that's that. And what I'm guessing we've got here is when you kick the switch in, instead of going across the speaker, it switches the terminals out, and I think the speaker is sort of reversed and it allows it to function as a microphone. That makes the most sense to me, but we should just be able to run this as a speaker. I don't see too much interesting to play with inside of this box, but I wanted to see what we had inside of one of them. So we've got a little push button here that reroutes one side. When its button is not pressed in, we can essentially talk to the speaker. When you press the button, it kind of disconnects the one side and turns it into a microphone. Yep. So let's take the amplifier part apart and at least look at what we have. So here's the serial tag on our amplifier switch box. I can't read the entire model number, but I get a 360. We'll take the bottom off and see what all this switching architecture is, but I think we'll finish. I think I've got most of this off anyway. And this is the infamous handheld C6 camera. Enjoy. We'll get the tripod when we actually start working. Right now we're just looking around. See what we got. I know what we got. We got a thing that I bought at a local auction. And the reason I'm thinking this is 50s rather than earlier is the tubes inside appear to be 7-pin minis, and those didn't come out till 1948. So that would okay, 30. Oh, look, there's papers inside. How interesting. I'll have to read those. Hey, I actually guessed the set pretty good here. We've got 12AU6 50B5 instead of a 50C5. 50B5 and 50C5 are essentially the same tube with a different pin arrangement, and then 35W4. And this stuff is connected down here to the outs here are connected to the switchboard down below. So, and it looks like somebody fabric cobbled this cable on there, power cord, and that looks kind of dangerous. I gotta see what this paperwork is. Oh, what's the speaker? 270908. 270908. Okay. Well, 270 is still QAM speaker company, but the 8 would be, I don't know. Well, maybe QAM did it backwards, because the other one was the 2709, so that would be 1949 maybe instead of 1951. It's possible. No, these are definitely not the original tubes, but these, the 50B5, 50C5, those came out right at the end of the 40s. So, yeah. So let's take this thing out. See what we got. So these are receipts from 1986 from buying the tubes that are in there from Radio Shack. And tubes were installed new in 1986, and prior to that I guess it had new tubes in 1964. So I guess those tubes aren't that old. Radio Shack must have had some old stock or something. I didn't think they were still producing tubes in this country anyway, much after the 70s. I could be wrong. It's nice and dusty in there. Okay, well, let's see what's next. Open the bottom up, I guess. Okay, so with the bottom off, we've got a panel marked B in the corners. It says B, and it's numbered 1 through 10. It looks like 1 through 8 are series together. Without a manual, I don't know what that really means. And then over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, which this might have to do with, like, maybe setting the output ohms on the speaker or something. And then we've got our switching panel. I tried to look up some information on these, but yeah, the result has been somewhere between an elephant and a rhinoceros, which would be Alifano. So on the flip side, it looks like all of these various things that come off the buttons go to these various devices here. I mean, it's a cool switching mech, right? That's pretty cool. I don't know that we're going to use it for anything. I think that top part detaches from the base here. Okay, yeah, I was right. This is modular. These things can be like an intercom or a paging station or whatever, and this like makes it into paging mode or something. But so these two screws come off, and then the front kind of unhooks, and then you get this thing, which is oh good, the one wire that was on the bottom there fell off. Now it's good. Okay, so this is a 377-M. Alright. I'd like to take the amplifier out of here, but looks like I might have to take the speaker out. Maybe we can at least tip it up and look underneath. I don't really plan on doing surgery on this today, but let's just take a look and see if anybody has done any great miracles with this, or they've completely garbaged up the inside. Okay, so it does come apart, kind of like an old radio. There's one little bolt screw here that keeps the speaker up on the face, and then 3 bolts on the bottom. Then you get this, and I see a little nick there, and it looks like a pinhole, like somebody poked it with a pencil. That's funny because I didn't see any pencil holes in the speaker grill, but it isn't bad. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Then there's a screw down there holding it on, and the power light. So I figure we should open it up and see, you know, how many rancid capacitors are in it, because that's what, you know, this is a repair job. It's going to have rancid capacitors in it, because this thing is, you know, older than me and stuff. What is this? Is this an output transformer? A19E10636, I don't know. This is obviously a capacitor. Maybe that's an output transformer. We'll find out. Okay, so we're inside now. Got a really old, this is what, this is a double? How is this a double? 40 microfarad, or what is it, 5 microfarad, 150 volt Mallory, so that's an electrolytic. That's probably well dead. We've got some wax sprags. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 under there. That's great. And then we got this big mess over here, which is 40, 30, 20, and got a completely charred, busted carbon resistor. This thing I think was a relay, because it looks like it's associated with this push-to-talk lever switch thing. So, yeah, this isn't going to be something we just plug in and watch it work, because it ain't going to work. And this is probably one of those scenarios where, why did I even get into this? I don't know. If I had a schematic, it'd make life easier, but we can probably scarf up a schematic that works with 35 W4, 50 C4, or 50 B5, 50 whatever, the power tube, because it's a B instead of a C, so it's just a different pin out. And then 12AU6 as a preamp. There are guitar amps that were made that use that kind of setup. There should be some big fat resistor in here too for the filaments. A filament series string resistor. Is that what this thing is? This big charred mess. I don't know. What is this big charred snake mess? Heavens. Let's see, there's our outputs. So yeah, that's our output transformer under there. And there's no power transformer because this is a series string. Now what does the internet think? Well, I'll tell you what. There exists guitar amp schematics that will work with those three tubes. Now this is a 50 B5, but 50 C5, 50 B5, or whatever, 50 C5, or it's 50 C5, 50 C4, whatever, but yeah, it's a C rather than a B. So I'll just throw this out here to y'all. There's a lot of El Cheapo practice series strings. There's one called the Vox Student. I'm not building that. I'm just not. So if you have any other suggestions or ideas of what schematic to use, go ahead and feel free to post them. And I figure this push-to-talk relay is of no consequence. So I have a volume pot and maybe an instrument input. But this thing's going to become something completely different than what it is right now. I think this is going to be a total gut. Yay. Okay, thanks for hanging out with me in the shop. Bye.